So now we have gone through the salient feature of the modern periodic table, and I have explained you certain points. Let us see these points in somewhat detailed part. Let us see the arrangement of the element. As I have explained you, arrangement is done on the basis of increasing atomic number in 7 horizontal rows known as periods and 18 vertical columns known as groups. Now how they are arranged actually. So I have shown you that these vertical columns are known as groups and these horizontal rows are known as periods. Now let us see individually what there is a feature of these periods. Let us say periods. Now, how many periods we have? We have periods 7. Total 7. That is 1 to 7. Now, what does period number tells us? Period number tells us number of shells. What does period number tells us? Period number tells us number of shells. Now, how it indicates the number of shells? Here we can see, let us say period 1. Period 1 has two elements, that is hydrogen and helium. Okay. So in period 1 we have two elements, hydrogen and helium. So let us take the example of hydrogen, whose atomic number is 1, and helium, whose atomic number is 2. So I have explained you that period number tells us the number of shells. So how we will come to know that how many shells are present in these elements? So let us see. Hydrogen has atomic number 1. Okay, so according to the k element shell rule, okay, this one electron will enter into which shell? K shell. That is your first shell. So we can say that element hydrogen has how many shell? That is your 1 shell. Okay, so period 1 and how many shell? 1 shell. Now let us take the another example of helium. Okay, helium also has atomic number. Atomic number of helium is what? 2. Okay, now according to the Bohr's 2n square formula, we know that K shell can accommodate total how many electrons? It can accommodate total of 2 electrons. So in the K shell, that is the first shell, how many electrons will be accommodated? 2, and helium has total 2 electrons. So these 2 electrons of helium will enter into which shell? They will enter into the K shell. So hence helium also has 1 shell, that is K shell, and the total number of the electrons in the K shell is your 2. So this is how the period number correlates to the number of the shells. Okay, now let us go to the next period, set of next elements. Let us take the period number 2. We have lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. So atomic number of lithium is 3, beryllium 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 and so on. So we are studying now period 2. So period 2 means the number of shells should be how many? It should also consist of 2 shells. So how it will be? Now as this atomic number is 3, so the first 2 electrons will enter into what? K shell, and remaining 1 electron will enter into in the L shell. So what will be the electronic configuration? It will be 2, 1. So total how many shells are there in lithium? There are 2 shells. So period number 2 and shell is also 2. Let us see for beryllium. Again, atomic number of beryllium is 4. So the 2 electrons will enter into K shell and the remaining 2 will enter into the L shell. So 2, 2. This is the electronic configuration. So how many shells are there? Again, here we have 2 shells. Let us see boron. Okay, boron. Atomic number of boron is 5. So according to the 2n square formula, K can accommodate how many electrons? Only 2. The rest will enter into the L shell. Now in the L shell, 3 electrons will enter. Children, don't get confused, because we know that according to 2n square formula, L can accommodate total how many? 8. So till the time 8 electrons are are not accommodated, it will go on adding the electrons. So again, boron will have how many shells? It will have 2 shells again. Okay. Now let us see carbon. Carbon atomic number is 6, so its electronic configuration will be K. K can accommodate how many electrons? 2, and the rest will go to the next shell, that is L. So how many are remaining? 4. So electronic configuration is 2, 4. Again we can see here, again it has only 2 shells. Now let us see for nitrogen. So 2, 5. K and L shell. Again 2 shells are there. Then oxygen. Oxygen atomic number is 8. So electronic configuration will be 2, 6. Children, we have to see that the L should be what? Octet. Because we have studied that octet or duplet is only the stable form. So till the time it does not becomes octet, we will go on adding the electrons in the next shell. So here it will be what? K and L. So again 2 shells are here. Then fluorine. Fluorine has 9 electrons, atomic number is 9. So K shell will accommodate how many? 2. Now the rest is left, we have 7 electrons which will go to the L shell. So again it has how many shells? 2 shells. Now see neon, atomic number 10. Now how they will be accommodated? K can accommodate 2 electron, L will accommodate how many here now? 8. So 2 plus 8 is your 10. Again it has what? 2 shells. So see again children, I have explained that period number is your number of shells. So period 1 will have how many shell? 1 shell. And period 2 has how many shells? 2 shells in each elements, as I have explained you. Now let us go for groups. Now periods are clear to you. Now let us go for groups. Now what does group number tells us? Okay, let us see group. Group number, it tells us the number of electrons present in the outermost shell. What is outermost shell? The valence shell is known as the outermost shell. Now how here also how it will correlate, let us see. Let us take example of group 1 elements. Group 1 elements are known as alkali metals. This we have already studied in class 9th. What is alkali metals? Alkali metals are those metals which whose compound are water soluble in nature. Okay, so let us start. Now group 1 elements are also known as what? Reactive metals. See here in the separation of elements we have studied reactive metals are placed in group 1 and group 2A. Okay, now let us come to the topic that group number tells us the number of electrons in the outermost shell. So let us see, in group 1 we have lithium, we have sodium and we have potassium. We have rubidium, cesium and francium. So children, I am going to consider up till these 3 elements because we have to study only total of 20 elements in the periodic table. So see, lithium, sodium and potassium which belong to group 1. Lithium, sodium and potassium. Lithium atomic number is 3. Sodium atomic number is 11 and potassium atomic number is 19. So now let us start. 3. Again lithium electronic configuration will be 2, 1. 2 electrons will enter into K shell and in the next shell there will be 1 electron. Then for sodium 2, 8, 1 is the electronic configuration. According to Bohr's formula 2n square, K shell will accommodate 2 electrons, L will accommodate 8 electrons and M will accommodate 1 electron. Now potassium, its electronic configuration will be 2, 8, 8, 1. Now how again here according to the 2n square formula we will go. So K shell will accommodate 2, L can accommodate 8 and M can accommodate total of 18 electrons, but practically only 8 electrons enter into the each shell and one left remaining electron will enter into the outermost shell. Now what I have said is group number tells us the number of electron in the outermost shell. So now you just check the outermost shell of each element present in the group. In this group we have element like lithium, sodium and potassium. Lithium outermost shell, that is your L shell, consists how many electron? 1 electron. Sodium outermost shell is your M shell. How many electron is present? Again 1. Potassium, successively you can see again it has what? 1 electron in its outermost shell. So group 1, see, group number is also 1 and outermost shell electron is also 1. So group number tells us the number of electrons present in the outermost shell.